must answer them whether he wants to or not. And this week, they are good. Here we go with question number one. Either, neither, or both, Dominique. What combination of Tom Brady and Bruce Arians will return for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next season?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely both. This isn't a situation where this was an abject failure. We're not even at the end of the season yet or even gotten into the playoffs. Like, they might go on a playoff run, although I don't see them doing it because they've been inconsistent. I don't think it's out of the question. I wouldn't be completely shocked if Tom Brady kind of blacks out. Like, it makes me think of like Lil Wayne. There's a mixtape Wayne, there's an album Wayne. Maybe we get mixtape Wayne in the playoffs for Tom Brady, and then they win a Super Bowl and we're all talking about how this was such a great maturation. But the issue with this team is probably coming together. I don't think the way that you solve that is by bringing in a new head coach or getting rid of your greatest of all-time quarterback.
All right, that's fair enough. Here comes the second one. Who should be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots next season?
All right, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I think this is going to be my answer for every team that is a contending team going forward. It's Matt Stafford. Like, if I'm any team out there, I think Matt Stafford is probably the top of the list of guys that might be available because it's clear that the Lions are going to go in a new direction and they're going to be in a rebuild, whether they hire our colleague Louis Riddick or whoever else to be the general manager and then figure out the head coach situation. So I think Matt Stafford might be looking for a new home, and there's no better place because the one thing that Matt Stafford probably needs to cement his career is like a real nice playoff run and maybe a championship. And we all know how Bill Belichick does out there with a quarterback, especially a quarterback who's willing to take a discount. And I don't see why Matt Stafford may not be in that position coming up.
I like that one very much, and for what it's worth, out of the corner of my eye, I could see Graziano nodding along as well. He'd like that one too. All right, last one. You said a few weeks ago, Dominique, that you weren't sure if the Dolphins had their quarterback of the future in the building. Now that you've seen a few more weeks of Tua Tagovailoa, do you believe the quarterback of the future is there in Miami, yes or no?
Yes, I am absolutely sure now. I think I was probably guilty of one of the things that I kind of blame on a lot of other people is expecting everyone to come in and be great. Like, you don't have to be Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. You don't have to be that in your first year. Or even Herbert right now, even though their team isn't good, Justin Herbert's been really great. You don't have to be that, especially when you're in what seems to be one of the most well-run kind of organizations right now and the most well-built for the future going forward. He doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to be smart and make good decisions, not make a lot of mistakes, and maybe make some big plays here and there. And this is just his rookie year. Again, the expectation that you're going to walk in and be a complete quarterback day one is a faulty expectation for any of us to have. He's going to get better next year. That's normally when QBs make that leap, is from their first season to their second season. I think Josh Allen is the only quarterback we've seen who didn't make his leap until later on in his contract. So I think Tua will be better next year, and this team definitely has their quarterback of the future, assuming he stays healthy.
Yeah, you see Allen improving this year. You see Baker Mayfield improving this year into year 3. Tua still only in year number 1. And it's hilarious, but I think accurate to say the Dolphins are one of the best-run organizations in the sport. But it does start to feel that way. All right, Neek, well done. Meanwhile, the ESPN Power Rankings are out for this week, and the Titans are the big mover and shaker. They jump from number 8 to number 5. The Bills, after their Saturday beatdown of the Broncos, are now second, only behind the Chiefs, who've won 13 out of 14 games this season. So those are the ESPN.com power rankings. But there are only one set of rankings that we care about on this program, and those are the ones put together every week by Ryan Clark. So, RC, the floor is yours.
And like I always tell you, Greeny, before this kicks off, don't ask nobody no questions about this because this is my power rankings. And all I got to say to you people who disagree is get your hand out of my pocket because at number 5, we're going straight to the Cleveland Browns. I don't know why they got the Tennessee Titans there. Wow. Didn't the Browns beat them? Didn't the Browns jump out on them right from the beginning? You know why we not hearing a lot from Baker? Because we are seeing the play. Baker Mayfield is balling. He is now the dude that you expected him to be under Freddie Kitchens last year. And Nick Chubb, you know you got a problem when the running back don't care about his hair being cut. He ain't wearing no wristbands, and he got his socks on just like the uniform dude that's put up in your locker room to tell you how to wear your clothes. And Myles Garrett is a star. He's the dude we be talking about for Defensive Player of the Year if COVID hadn't hit him. The Cleveland Browns are real. The Cleveland Browns have a chance to win the AFC North, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. And listen, at number 4, I'm staying with the Green Bay Packers. Now, the first half of that game, they were good. Aaron Rodgers was balling. We saw Devontae Adams make some plays. Aaron Jones did his thing. Second half, they let their foot off the pedal. The reason they're at number 4 is because they get to prove something to me this week. When you play Derrick Henry, when you play Ryan Tannehill, defense, step up. Don't get ran through like the San Francisco 49ers ran through you. Don't get ran through like Dalvin Cook ran through you. Step up, bow your neck, hit somebody in the mouth. Don't get slapped by Derrick Henry and slid under the bench. Show me that you can play. Show me that everything ain't going to be on Aaron Rodgers, that they shouldn't have went out and got a linebacker. Say that you're a playoff team, you're a Super Bowl team this week, and you might move up. Because at number 3, I'm keeping the Saints. And the Saints might not be marching in right now, but they are not peaking. They have not given us the best of what they can be. Drew Brees will get healthy. He understands that he is P. He understands that he runs the show. He knows that he's baby, and he's rubbing his hands like this. The chopper style is coming back. It'll be getting the gat like the LSU Tigers were last year. This team's defense is out of its mind. DeMario Davis, Trey Hendrickson, Cam Jordan on the back end, Lattimore, Gardner Johnson, Janoris Jenkins, Marcus Williams. This team has what it takes, and they have a coach who understands how to get it done, and I expect them to. And at number 2, finally, the Buffalo Bills. I am so happy I get to say this so Bills fans can stay off my mentions. The Bills are there. Listen, I haven't seen a glow up like Josh Allen has had since I watched Michael B. Jordan on The Wire, and then I saw him on the Black Panther. That man had a glow up out of this world, and Josh Allen has the exact same one. The dude is in the MVP conversation. He is a star. I believe that he can stand across the sideline for Patrick Mahomes and believe and do match him throw for throw with Stephon Diggs on the outside and a defense that is now turning the football over. The Buffalo Bills are the real deal. They're the second best team in football. It's just an issue that they're on the same side as my number 1 team, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are it. They're like, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. They're like Eddie Kane and the Five Heartbeats when they were together. They're like the Ralph Tresvant-led New Edition because that is the dude. Patrick Mahomes, he just won't let them lose. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. The other 21 guys can play hard if they want. They cannot play hard. But when Patrick Mahomes, when 15 says, pick it up, they pick it up. He was under siege all Sunday against New Orleans Saints, and it never mattered. His eyes never went down. His eyes never looked at the rush. All he did was make plays, and he's made the plays 13 of 14 games. And we saw it happen in the playoffs last year, people. It don't matter if you get up. You can't rest. You know what every team is that gets up on the Kansas City Chiefs? They're the Atlanta Falcons. And the reason is because the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes.
That was a masterpiece. I know that I should be talking about the rankings and all that stuff, but I don't care because you guys probably didn't even catch at the beginning. I made a Malcolm X movie reference at the beginning of the show. RC hit him with the "Get Your Hand Out My Pocket." Fantastic. And then he doubles
This is what we do.
down on the extra old man blackness by putting "the" in front of Black Panther. The Black Panther. Don't nobody do that but old black man. You ain't need to do that. Don't nobody do that but old black man. The movie is called Black Panther, not The Black Panther, but I know you did that for me, and I appreciate it. I love it. I forgot what was going on your whole list. None of it makes any sense. None of it matters. I'm having a good time. I don't know if Greeny or Graz even know what's going on, and I frankly, I don't care. This show is fantastic. Forget your promo. Watch the game or don't.
Today on ESPN. Bowl Mania rolls on with 2 more games starting at 3 Eastern. Louisiana Tech and Georgia Southern in the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, followed by 7 Eastern, the Memphis at FAU game in the Montgomery Bowl. Both games are on ESPN and the ESPN app. Meanwhile, I want you to see this. BYU beat UFC in the Boca Raton Bowl last night. BYU quarterback Zach Wilson threw for 425 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he ran for 2 more. And this is sneaky big news. You may think to yourself, I don't really care that much about that game. But this is why this is sneaky big news. Dan Graziano is going to explain to you why what happened last night with Zach Wilson is something a lot of people should be paying attention to.
Because NFL teams had their eye on that game. Zach Wilson is a prospect and a likely first-round pick. And a game like that gets him in the conversation in terms of who's going to be the second, who's going to be the third quarterback taken in this year's draft. He was outstanding. He has the arm. He has the mobility. He looks like the real deal, and NFL teams are paying attention. So watch out for Zach Wilson over the next couple of months.
That is one of these names you're going to start hearing a lot as we work our way from here until April. We'll talk to Melon McShay about him as we